Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're going to continue our Middara gameplay that's going to feature a boss fight at some point. I of course want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Co. This website is a fantastic place to go to complete your collection and to swap out some games. You can trade games with Board Game Co. You can sell games over there. You can buy games from them as well. We've got a lot of hard to find games as well as great prices, so be sure to go check out Board Game Co. where you can buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. Also, if you like this t-shirt, this is over at Geeky Goodies, so be sure to go check them out. There's a link in the description below. Now we're going to get right down to our gameplay video, of course. Like I said, boss fights coming up. If you don't know how to play Middara, be sure to check out our video series that we have for that. There'll be a link in the description below for those videos too. So let's get right down to the table, and here we go. All right, so first thing we gotta do is turn over these initiative cards to see who's gonna go in what order. So we've got the Animate is gonna go first, followed by Rook, then Zeke, Remy, Nightingale, and then the Cave Sickles. All right, so first with the Animate, let's go in and real quick refresher. Change the position the first time each turn the Animate hits with an attack. Follow up, make another attack with the same range and damage type against the same target. And then heavy cleave. The first time each turn the Animate makes an attack against an adjacent opponent, it will empower the attack. All right, so does the Animate have damage? It does not. Okay, is there an opponent adjacent? Nope. Is there an opponent within sphere of influence, which of course is 6. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost, but not quite. So let's see. Down here, can it move and make an attack? Can it move and attack an opponent within range 4? And it'll move to be up to range 4. So that means it's going to stop once it hits that range 4 spot. So obviously, either one of these guys could be a potential target here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And both of these guys are now range 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the Animate will attack the one that is highest in the initiative order, which is Rook. So Rook's going to be the target here. So the combat dice for the Animate are going to be the teal and orange. It's not going to empower because that's not an adjacent opponent. Rook is going to exhaust the too many belts accessory in order to dodge. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Added 2 shields to the to his defense. So right now, Rook starts with 9 defense. He's got 1 extra defense because of his deflection core. So that's 10 plus the 2 from the dodge makes it 12. And the Animate rolls 12, so that is a hit. So far, 0 damage based off of the roll by itself, because the roll is equal to the defense of Rook. But now let's look and see. We've got 2 shields and 2 books. And we can see down here, for each shield and book combination, that's +1 physical damage. Fortunately, there's no stars, but that's going to be +2 damage. So that's going to be 2 damage that Rook is taking right now. However, he does have 1 built-in armor from the Cuirass, and then on top of that, we can exhaust this if we want to reduce physical damage dealt to you by 2. I think we won't. I think we'll just let that 1 armor absorb it, and so Rook will take... Oh wait, I forgot we have 1 other armor here on the mundane, on the Bone Shaker, the monster beneath shield. So that will absorb the other one, so he actually takes no damage. So he moved and then made the attack, and that's it. That's everything the Animate's going to do this turn. So now we move on to Rook. So let's see, we'll go 1, 2, actually, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Rook is going to attack. Now with the hand axe and the shield, you can see that, so the hand axe has the white die. The shield normally does 2, but it has finesse orange if it has a combo with melee, which of course the hand axe is melee. Also, if we miss, we can exhaust the hand axe after resolving an attack you made. If the attack missed, make an additional attack. All right, so that's if it misses though, not if it connects but deals no damage. All right, so, oops. Okay, so we got a orange and a white. Oh, hold on, we forgot. That is not everything the Animate does. I'm forgetting about the Chains of Perdition up here. Chains of Perdition, remember, the first time each turn hits with an attack, which he obviously did. Follow up, make another attack with the same range and damage type against the same target. So he's going to do the exact same attack. This time, Rook will not... do I want to dodge again? I'd have to use stamina points to dodge. No, we'll roll with it. Okay, so no dodge this time. And it didn't hit, so there we go. It was only 7 is what was rolled, no hit there. Okay, so now we have Rook moving up here. It takes 1 stamina point to move, so now he's down to 2 stamina points. And then 2 stamina points to attack. So that will be a white and an orange. Ooh, nice, 14, okay. So 14 is obviously more than the 9 that the Animate has for defense by a lot. So it's starting us already off at 5. Now we do have the 2 armor here for the Animate, but we're at 5 damage, minus 2, that's 3. But now let's look at these symbols. The hand axe will let us for every 2 shields, that's plus 2 physical damage. And then that star right there is 1 physical damage. So we've got 3 shields, so that's 2 damage. That would put us at back up to 5, and the star would put us at 6. So that's 6 damage to the Animate, and he has 18 health total, but that's a pretty good chunk right there. I forgot about these 2 weapon upgrades. These 2 masterwork weapon upgrades are attached to the hand axe and the shield. Each one has one. I can exhaust each one to add plus one, to the roll, which will add 2 more damage. So that's going to be 8 damage total. There we go. To the Animate. That's a nice little chunk right off the bat there. But now Rook's out of stamina points, so we'll move on to Zeke. Now because of the Espelancer, Zeke is able to ignore negative effects from movement and terrain, so he can move through this difficult terrain here without any problem. Hindering terrain. So we're going to spend 1 stamina point to move, leaves him with 2. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And he will go ahead and go after that Animate as well. Oh, I kind of wonder if I would want to move past let's see, he was here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but he wouldn't have anything to attack with. Yeah, so we're not going to go after the Cave Sickles yet. So he's gonna attack this Animate again. Now he is using the Espelancer and the Sword of Dominions. So he's going to have a white and an orange die as well. 12, okay. So that puts us at 3 above the defense so far. And then we can use those 2 shields for plus 2 physical damage. That puts us at 5. And that star is 1 physical damage. That's 6. And we can exhaust a masterwork to make it 7. Minus the 2 here is 5 damage. So that would get him to 13, leaves him with 5. I don't see any reason to try to poison We do have the sickle venom for Zeke that would allow him to try to poison the animate, but since we're getting the animate all the way down to just 5 health left, I don't think that's necessary because he's at 13 damage so far. That was all of Zeke's stamina points. So moving on to Remy now. I think she's going to stay right where she is. And she's going to fire her longbow. Now, because she's staying still, the longbow gives her +1 to her attack rolls. All right, so it is a purple and white. 14. I'm rolling good right now. Hopefully we don't run out of this when the boss shows up. So let's see. So that's 14. So that's 5. Every 2 shields is +2 physical damage. So that's another, that gets us to 7. Those stars are 1 physical damage each. That's 8 and 9. That's more than enough to kill the animate. Plus the +1 for the standing still, because we only need 5 more. So the animate is successfully dead. Boom, just like that. That is pretty good. Now we killed the animate, so we do get a loot card, and we got 6 gold from that. Add that to the loot we've gained so far during this series of encounters. So that was 2 stamina points for Remy. I think she's going to stay where she is. I don't think there's any reason for her to move yet. These Cave Sickles are probably going to move up on us here. So I think she'll stay right where she is and not move. All right, so that was Remy here. So next we've got Nightingale, who she needs to get at least within Sphere of Influence to be able to use her spells. All right, so here's what I think we'll do. We'll try to save up a little bit of stamina points for Nightingale as well, and also keep her hopefully out of melee combat. And so what we're going to do is use the Wand of Missiles, which has a once per encounter use. Maybe a little bit early to do this, but I think hopefully this will pay off. So we're going to use this to increase our Sphere of Influence by 2, which will put this guy just barely within range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And we're going to, if we use Organic Liquefy, that would let us roll the 2 best, the conviction dice, the 2 purple dice for this guy. And if you look at this chart here, you can see that, so the Cave Sickle only has 6 health. So we've got 3 is right here, third up from the bottom, or second up, whatever you want to call it, from the bottom. So we've got a real good shot of dealing 6 magical damage with Organic Liquefy right away. The trick, of course, is going to be successfully casting the spell. Our casting die is upgraded to a white die. We're going to do this. Let's take a shot. I actually have not used Organic Liquefy yet. So we're going to cast this spell. Costs 3 stamina points. 7, nice. Okay, so that makes it spell force of 13. So to resist this spell, that Cave Sickle is going to have to roll a 13 or better here. Did not, got a 6. Okay, so now what we do is we're going to roll these same conviction dice and hopefully get at least 6 here. You saw we rolled a 6 right there. We got a 5 and a 1. Get at least 6, and that Cave Sickle is dead. There we go, got a 6. So that dealt 6 magic damage to this Cave Sickle. Now we don't get a treasure or combatant loot yet, because these guys are a swarm. So you get a swarm, you have to kill all 3 Cave Sickles from a single group in order to get that swarm. Okay, so now it is the Cave Sickle's turn. So let's look at these guys. As a quick reminder, Sickle Anatomy, they are immune to poison, and movement point cost is not increased by terrain or allies. Hive Mind, by the way, the whole movement cost moving through allies, I'm not playing with that rule. That was one that pretty early on they were talking about getting rid of, so we're not going to be playing with that rule right now. I have not looked at the new 1.1 update yet, so I'm not sure if they officially got rid of it, but I do know that was almost immediately when the game was released, they said that they were probably going to be getting rid of that rule. So that's one I don't play with. Hive Mind, the Cave Sickles combat dice. So right now, we got rid of that one. So basically, what they would have been using were these two for combat. Now we've got them down to here for combat dice. So is there an opponent adjacent? No, there's not. Is there an opponent within range 4? Well, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is not. Can it move and attack an opponent within range 4? Yes, it can. So move to be at up to range 4 from the nearest opponent, which would be these two guys here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll move there because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So again, either one, they're going to attack Rook because he is higher in the initiative order. And like I said, the Cave Sickles are rolling white and orange. Rook does not have any means to dodge right now, so we're not going to. 6, didn't matter anyway. That didn't get through the defense. Rook's base defense is 9, so he's fine. Okay, was there anything else? I think, no, nothing else for that guy. So now this one, same thing, move to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, attack Rook again. Again, didn't get through. I am rolling in all the right ways right now. Okay. Now, one other rule that they were talking about adding to the game, because it kind of increases the difficulty a little bit, changes things up, makes things not so predictable, is that the initiative track gets shuffled every time you run through it. So I actually have not played with that rule yet. I like the idea of it. I'm going to play this game with it. We're going to see how it goes. Now, of course, the Animate is gone, so that should have been taken out when he got killed, so we'll put that right there. All right, so here we go. Remy, Rook, Zeke, Cave Sickles, they might not survive that long, and Nightingale. All right, so Remy goes first now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She does not have range with her bow and arrow, so she's going to have to move. She gets her 3 stamina points, which brings her up to 4. So she'll use 1 stamina point to move. Actually, let's see. We don't need her to get super far up there. So you know what? She's not going to fly. She's not going to fly. She'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she's going to be firing through Zeke, which will be -1. Oh yeah, by the way, last time when you fire through those guys, if you fire through your allies, it's -1. Also, I didn't give her -1 for hindering terrain either, but I'm pretty sure she had such a great roll last time that it wouldn't have mattered, that she still dealt a significant amount of damage. But if you fire into or through hindering terrain, it's -1. You fire through an ally, it's -1 as well, and those do stack. So I believe if you're firing out of hindering terrain, you're fine. So right now it'll be -1 to whoever she shoots at. She's going to fire at the first Cave Sickle right there. Purple and white. Got a 6. That's not going to be good enough. The defense is 8 for the Cave Sickles. I think... Do we have any reroll abilities? She doesn't. Okay, so that was 2. So she has 1 stamina point left. That costs 2 stamina points to fire the bow and arrow. She's got, so she just misses. Just fires off, slams into this pillar back here or something. She misses. Okay, so next up we've got Rook. I think Rook's gonna kind of head off this way. By the way, we need to remember Zeke does have an additional movement. Why does he? Oh, because of his occult shirt. We have to remember that. I always forget that Zeke has extra movement when I'm playing. Okay, Rook's gonna head this way, and he'll maybe end up coming over to this loot. We'll see. But he has 3 stamina points. He's gonna use 1 to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go right there. And then, of course, the other 2 to attack. That's orange and white. 13, okay, that's great because we have the defensive 8 for the Cave Sickles. So we're already at 5 right there. And then the 2 shields will bump that up to 7. That's plenty. They don't have any armor. They don't have any of their extra defense they get from being in big groups. So we're fine. I'm making sure, no, these two obstructing terrain block that totem from being seen. Okay, so Rook doesn't trigger the totem yet. Okay, so he just wiped the floor with this guy, so he's dead. So now we've got Zeke, who of course is going to gain 3 stamina points. He'll use 1 to move up here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go there. All right, and he will use 2 stamina points to attack this guy again. Orange, white. Oh, only a 5. Okay, now, cool thing though, with Sword of Dominions, it has an ability when it's comboed with another sword. I can exhaust it to re-roll one of my combat dice. All right, so let's look at the chart again. All right, so the white ended up with a 2, which is the lowest, so I've got the best chance of doing better there. The orange had a 3, second lowest. It's got a higher ceiling. I only need to get to 8 though. So, which means if I re-rolled the orange, I'd have to get to 6 here if I re-roll. So it's basically the same. It's basically the same. Let's re-roll the white, because it'd be really embarrassing to do worse. 3, still not enough. Unless, do I have, that puts me at 6, and I have a once per encounter thing that could help me out here, but I'm not going to use that. That probably will be better for, oh, sorry about the camera. Yeah, we're just going to let this attack fail. Okay, that's unfortunate. It's kind of embarrassing to fail against the Cave Sickle like that. And now, well, but you know what? Now the Cave Sickle is going to have a shot, and what that means, though, is I will, of course, dodge with the occult shirt. All right, so exhaust that, and we dodge. We're going to get 2 extra shields. Okay, so let's look and see. Zeke starts with 9 defense. He has 1 extra defense from the ability core, so that's 10. And I think that's it. Yeah, and then the 2 extra here, so that's 12. All right, so the Cave Sickle is down to 2 white dice now because it's all by itself. And it got 11. Does it have? Nope, no way of increasing that, so it misses. That is a miss, which means that the occult shirt unexhausts, and now he can, Zeke can counter, which means, and it's a free, like I don't have to spend any stamina points, so he counters, so he's gonna get another attack on this guy. Orange and white. Oh man, just sucking it up here. 8, all right. I can't re-roll right now. Oh, but what I can do is I will use the masterwork. I'll exhaust it to increase the roll by 1, so that puts it up to 9. And then no other way to increase it. So it's just gonna be 1 damage. That's all it's gonna be. It's really kind of crappy, but that's fine. So 1 damage to this Cave Sickle here. That's really kind of embarrassing, Zeke. You should be ashamed of yourself. But that's the Cave Sickle. So now we've got Nightingale, who has 3 stamina points now. And I think, let's see, what should we do? Real quick. So in between videos there, I told you how I was going to rearrange some of the stuff they had in their packs. Nightingale now has the Wand of Hindsight, which was previously in Remy's pack. That is now in Nightingale's pack. So she already used the Wand of Missiles. So I'm going to use 1 stamina point in order to put the Wand of Missiles into Remy's pack and bring the Wand of Hindsight out to be used. It is now equipped. And what the Wand of Hindsight does is once per encounter, when it's comboed with Spellcraft, which of course the magic staff is, once per encounter at any time, re-roll any dice except the black die that you or an ally within Sphere of Influence rolled. So we'll just have that ready to go. That way we're not fiddling around with that when a boss is in the area. Okay, so now she'll spend, that was one stamina point, she'll spend one more to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think even though she doesn't want to be in close quarters, this guy's not going to move. Well, he might actually. Well, no, he'll be dead by the time it gets back around to him. She's going to move there. That's 6 movement right there. I think she'll try to use the magic staff. 1 stamina point to cast spell 6. All right, she uses a white die for her spell casting. All right, so that's 12 force for the spell. The Cave Sickle, of course, uses 2 purple. Does not resist. So now we exhaust the magic staff to do this, by the way. And then we have to roll the black die for every, is it the books? Yes, for every book, it's going to be one magic damage done to the Cave Sickle. So again, only 1. This guy is particularly tough for a Cave Sickle. That's everything she can do. All right, so let's reshuffle. Zeke, Rook, Remy. Nice, that worked out. All right. So Zeke's gonna go first. He's right there next to the Cave Sickle. And he will, of course, attack with a purple and orange. I'm sorry, orange and white. Oh my, what are you doing, Zeke? All right, he's gonna exhaust the Sword of Dominions in order to re-roll the orange. 8, okay, so there's a hit. All right, so that puts him at 10, so that's 2 damage already. That star will be another physical damage, that's 3, and nothing, that shield, we need 2 shields to do anything there. But we need, so that's 3. That would put the Cave Sickle at 5 damage. We will exhaust the Masterwork to increase the roll by 1. So that's 4, and that will kill this Cave Sickle finally. He's been a huge pain in the butt. So before we draw our combatant loot, let's remember that the Sword of Dominions has a passive ability. When you defeat an opponent during your turn, an ally within Sphere of Influence heals 3. So that could be anybody. Everybody's within my Sphere of Influence. Who has the least health left? We'll heal Remy. So that brings her to 3 damage is how much she has now. So that was Zeke, who has 1 stamina point left. Let's see, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does he have a, oh no, is it the Sword of Dominion? Yeah, the Sword of Dominion has an ability where he can move diagonally 1 space. But, so, oh, this is gone. So these guys are really all gone. I'll get them out of the camera here in a second. All right, so here's where we're at. If I move him now, who knows what I'm going to unleash over here? But really, Zeke is going to do the same. Well, does this block? Yes, no. Well, no. Hindering terrain does not block line of sight. So yeah, so Rook will unleash whatever that is as well. So either way. So I think maybe it's a good idea to go ahead and do it now. That way these 3 have the ability to react better to whatever's going to happen. So Zeke will use his last movement or his last stamina point to go 1, 2. Now is that line of sight? I say that's line of sight to this blue totem. A huge lumbering figure sulks in front of an imposing set of double doors. Spawn the Warden, Eternal Sentinel, on the space this totem occupied. The creature has a large keyring on its side. It looks like you'll need those keys to get through those doors. Instead of killing the Warden, you could try to steal the keys from it. Any adventurer adjacent to the Warden may spend 1 stamina point to make an agility 12 check. If they fail, the Warden makes an attack against them. If they pass, read the section below. Okay, so that block of text also instructed me to go into the secret card deck for the large hidden cards and the small hidden cards, which if you haven't seen the unboxing or any of the other instructional videos, this is the large hidden deck. I've got it in a Ziploc bag now. It was originally obviously shrink sealed, but yeah, so I had to get UM2, card UM2 out of there, which you can see that's what that is. Eternal Sentinel has some story right here. If you want to read the story, I'll pause it right now, or I'll put it here. You can pause it. Okay. Now, so here's the Warden, Intelligent Boss. Okay. Passive ability, Mutated Aberration. The Warden has immunity to poison and paralyze. During the Warden's refresh phase, heal 3. Fantastic. So he's constantly healing. Okay, so we'll just kind of I'm not going to read through these in detail right now. I want to kind of see how that unfolds just by experiencing it. But look at the combat dice down here. It's always empowered because it rolls that black die, which means it's possible that it's going to have some hits miss or some attacks completely miss if it rolls the skull. But more than likely, that's not going to happen. 80 health, 10 defense, only 3 movement, so that's good. I can stay ahead of it. 2 armor. Okay, and then, but you can see it also is going to be dealing magic damage as well, which is nearly impossible to block with my current equipment. Or not nearly impossible. I think it is impossible for me to block actually with my current equipment, with maybe a few exceptions. No, I think even like the chipped chitin that Rook has and the living bulwark, even those only work against physical damage. And then the other card that when we get was from the small deck, you can see again, UM2, and it's just the Warden's initiative card here. Okay, so Zeke is the one that found him. So we're gonna roll this. We got 1 shield, so instead of him coming out here, he'll actually first activate after Rook, right here. So remember, this blue objective here, I can, I trigger that by defeating the Warden. Now, of course, if does it say defeat or when the Warden is defeated? Yeah. So those keys that I need to get, I could try to steal them. It said agility 12. That doesn't seem so difficult. I mean, Nightingale has 5 base agility. I mean, shoot, Remy has 6. So maybe we try to steal those keys instead of having a slugfest with this guy. I mean, like I said, he has 80 health. So that's probably what we're going to do is we're probably going to try to steal them. Now, I believe Zeke has taken 2 steps so far. I also want to watch out for this totem because I'm willing to bet that totem is going to call in some reinforcements for the Warden if I trigger it. But I'm probably going to end up triggering it anyway, but maybe just not quite yet. So I think Zeke actually, for now, the Warden can only move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Zeke will, let's just move there for now. Okay, I think that's a great place to stop. The boss has shown up, the Warden. So his card looks a little rough. So we'll see how well I can do. 80 life is nothing to laugh at. We'll see, if I can make it through him. The fact that we can steal the key from him with an agility check is definitely something I'm going to look at doing. I don't know that standing toe-to-toe with this guy. He's got that magic damage available to him, and he rolls 3 dice. 2 of them are the teal dice. That seems really rough. So I think stealing that key might be our best bet. So hopefully we can pull that off. Be sure to come back and check out the 3rd and final video in this gameplay series. It'll be out in a few days, hopefully. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.